Forgive me for doing this in my car, but I needed to get it done before the humidity hit my hair. If you've ever seen that Friends episode where Monica and the gang go to the Bahamas and her hair, yeah. So we're going to do it in my car. Two big changes are happening in real estate world. Here is a high-level overview. Change number 1. Per Indiana state law, as of July 1st, 2024, we are required to have a contract in place when working with buyers. This will also become a national requirement in August. The purpose of this contract is to define how the buyer and the agent will work together. It sets expectations, including how the agent will be compensated for their work. This contract protects both the buyer and the agent. Think about it. When you get your carpets cleaned or hire a plumber, there's an agreement or a contract that is signed ahead of time. And when you have work done on your car, or when you buy a new couch, or you order a new pair of eyeglasses, there's an agreement or a contract. This is really no different. This is the standard buyer agent contract form. I do have a video that goes over it in more detail, and I will link to that. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about it anytime. Even if you only want to see one house, this contract is required. But the terms of the contract are negotiable and amendable, meaning we can change it if your plans change. So it really shouldn't change the way you interact with a realtor, except that it should encourage you to interview, select, and build a relationship with your chosen real estate professional, which is the way it should be done anyways. Change number 2. In August, pursuant to a federal court order, it will no longer be customary for sellers to automatically offer to pay the buyer's agent compensation. For the past several decades, this has been the practice. While your realtor works for you, the buyer's agent compensation was typically set and paid by the seller, a method developed to help homebuyers need less cash at closing. But as of August 17th, 2024, this will no longer be the practice. Remember this when a friend or family member say, "I never paid my realtor when I bought a house." This process has changed, but don't panic. Keep listening to understand your options. There are primarily 2 methods for how a buyer agent's compensation can be paid. Option 1, the buyer agent compensation is included in the buyer's closing costs at closing. Buyer pays at closing with other loan closing costs and down payment. Nothing is paid up front, but the buyer is responsible for paying the compensation at closing. Option 2, when making an offer on a home, the buyer agent compensation can be negotiated to be paid by the seller. This is similar to how it's been done in the past when the buyer agent compensation comes off the seller's bottom line. Remember though, since this impacts the seller's bottom line, it can impact your negotiation strategy. As with all changes, things may be bumpy for a bit, but I remain focused on helping make the dream of home ownership a reality. Even if you aren't planning on buying or selling a home soon, please consider sharing this video or asking any questions to help you better understand the changes. I'm happy to share more details too. But your help is needed to spread the word and educate people who are buying and selling now and in the near future. As always, we can't really rely on mainstream media to explain it well or accurately. Thanks for listening, and thank you for your support and loyalty.